You may have already heard that the X Prize announced its milestone award winners this morning. This is for the $100 million carbon removal X Prize. So behind the scenes, 10 of these teams are Air Miners members. 2 of them have already graduated from Air Miners Launchpad, and 1 of them is starting the next batch on Tuesday. The 2 that have graduated already are Takachar and Plant Village. And the one that's joining on Tuesday is Carbon Minerals. So this is a huge win for everybody that's part of the Air Miners community. If you've ever had an idea for carbon removal, if you've posted a sketch, if you've had a comment on somebody's idea, if you've DM'd somebody and said, hey, I really like what you're doing, I want to hear more about it. If you've thought about applying to a job in carbon removal, if you've come to the events and listened in, this milestone award, this milestone was always on the roadmap for Air Miners in that way, in the sense of it's being a place for everybody working in carbon removal, everybody who's dreaming of gigaton scale carbon removal. So hats off to the teams and the judges and everybody who is directly involved in in these prizes, and huge congratulations to everybody that's working in carbon removal, everybody that's in Air Miners, everybody that's connecting and learning and coming up with ideas and starting new companies. This is huge. And so I had another note, just because it's Earth Day, because there's all these incredible announcements happening in the climate world broadly and the carbon removal world specifically, but to continue working at that individual level, that, when you're talking to another human being level, that's where all of this stuff starts. That's where all of it grows, and that's where it becomes things that you see in the news. And so on Earth Day, though, that can be challenging, right? You see all these big announcements, and you're like, shoot, am I doing the right thing? Could I be doing more? Did I miss out on something? All this sort of stuff. All these big announcements. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? It's like both. There's a celebration piece to it, but there's also like, shoot, what about this or what about that? And what I really want to celebrate that I always see in the Air Miners community is people kind of grappling with that stuff. People trying to figure out, okay, I want to do this thing. How do we make that happen? The most common message that I send on Slack in private is something on the order of, somebody sends me something really incredible that's like personal, it's something they're trying to grapple with, something they're trying to figure out. The most common message I have is, would you mind taking this and then posting it publicly so that other people can see it? You don't have to post it on general, but you can post it on one of the other smaller channels or something like that. I just would love if more people would do that. When I think about this X Prize, these milestone awards, when I think about the 10 teams that are on Air Miners, I think if we can kind of inspire more people to come out and share what they're working on, share what they're struggling with, share their perspective, that's how we're going to go from this milestone to the next one, which is it only grows from here. I mean, these teams are at the very early stages of their journey. We need so many more people working on carbon removal solutions, trying things out, experimenting with things, questioning things. And so this is a milestone for these teams, and it's a milestone for carbon removal more generally. And so I encourage you, if there's something that you're thinking about or struggling with, or inspired by, you can have those conversations in private, and you can also share it a bit more publicly. Air Miners intentionally is a place that's a bit secluded from the rest of the world. It's not Twitter, it's not LinkedIn, it's not everything's public. It's a community, and it's a place for people that are working on carbon removal at the gigaton scale and beyond. And I just encourage other people to participate in that, to join that. And for everybody else who's maybe curious about carbon removal, but not really working on it yet, or they want to, this milestone is a sign that the train is leaving the station. This is sort of like that choo-choo, like this is the train is moving. If you want to get in, now's the time to jump on board. Whether that means joining the Boot Up, Air Miners Boot Up that we have, that's a kind of online book club to learn carbon removal, or maybe you're already working on solutions and you just want to get connected to everybody else that's digging in. Air Miners is the place for you. So again, congratulations to the teams. Congratulations to the 15 winner teams. Congratulations to everybody who applied, all the judges, all the people reviewing applications. And then in this bigger sense, congratulations to everybody out there who's shared something, who's struggled with something, who's attempted something, who's, tried to perfect something and failed. Tried to perfect, maybe you succeed. Maybe some people seem to be good at perfecting things. But others, a lot of us, we end up needing to just get it out there and get it moving. And so I'd love to see more of that. I heard from Lori and Nisha today, who are both sharing more of that. And they're so inspiring in that way. And I'd love to see more of that, because ultimately this is a milestone. This is the start of how we get to gigaton scale carbon removal. And we need a lot more of that base layer of ideas, of connections, of thoughts, of cutting parts, of putting things together. That's how we got to this milestone, and that's how we're going to get to gigaton scale carbon removal. So happy Earth Day. If you're watching this next week and you've taken a day off to avoid all the Earth Day stuff, awesome, good for you. I can't, that's a great strategy as well. And I look forward to seeing you all on Air Miners.